Welcome to Vox Pauli, conversations with people around St. Paul's University Catholic Center at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Welcome, Lauren Bratzke. You are an OCIA intern, is that correct?
That is correct.
What does OCIA mean?
Order of Initiation for Christian Adults.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it is.
It is fun. Now, if someone was interested in being an OCIA, why would they want to do that? Why would someone be in the Order of Christian Initiation for Adults?
Well, it's for those who are seeking the sacraments of baptism, the Eucharist, and confirmation. Or if they are already Catholic and have all the sacraments and they just want to learn more, they're also more than welcome to come.
Absolutely. And you're working with our great new vicar, Father Enan Zielinski, and your lively co-worker, Paul Selberg. We'll talk about Paul later, maybe, okay? Yeah. Makes everybody smile. Paul makes everybody smile. We are very pro Paul on the Vox Pauli.
We are
very pro Paul.
We are.
But right now we're pro Lauren. Actually, I think everyone knows we're very pro Lauren on the Vox Pauli podcast too.
Thank you, Father.
Last night I called Lauren in pain and despair. This is how much I trust Lauren. I was like painful and sad and didn't want to talk to the guys in my house about it because it seemed not. So I called Lauren late at night, and you're very kind to console me. I appreciate that.
And do you want to explain why?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
I had done physical harm to myself. Well, actually, let's talk about this a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're a person for whom fitness and exercise is not just like, it's not just, I want to be like cute and trendy and all of this. Like it has a meaningful movement in your life. And I'm not asking you to get too like deep and personal, but like, can you share a little? Because you have a degree in?
Kinesiology,
which means what to the people?
It's the study of the human movement of the body.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
kinetics.
Yeah. And so eventually the goal would be to go to PT school and become a physical therapist.
Become a physical therapist,
Yes.
which I love physical therapists, but we can get into that later.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
I love this physical therapist. All others I have no time for.
Right.
Anyways, but what motivated that study? And again, I know from your story it's had impact in your life. You might share about that.
Yeah. I guess I started running in like middle school, and then in high school I joined the cross country team, and I got injured a lot.
So you ran first for like exercise and then sport?
Yeah, so
it
was more so for like how it made me feel. Like I felt really good after. You know, you get like the runner's high, you get like endorphins, and it just feels great.
I've heard of endorphins.
Yeah, it's a great
I believe
thing.
I got endorphins when I would do physical harm to another person in sport.
Right,
Others get it through not doing that.
Through actually like movement in the sport. Yeah.
I had to move to do people harm. I was moving.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I started running, and I started lifting in middle school too. They like taught you how to lift and stuff, and I was also involved in like other sports as well. But it was
your family athletic and sporty and runny and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, my parents, they both grew up playing like sports year round, and then they like kind of passed it on to my siblings and I. So yeah, I was playing like basketball, lacrosse, and cross country. And yeah, so I guess I just liked running a lot. And then in high school, I got injured a lot, but luckily one of my coaches was also a physical therapist. Like the coaching was like her like little side job. So then she taught me a lot, and that's kind of how I got interested in the whole like PT profession. And then it just carried on through.
And then you came
college.
to the University of Wisconsin. From where? Where are you from?
Sussex, Wisconsin.
Where's that?
It's about 30 minutes like west of Milwaukee.
People know it's in the greater Milwaukee metropolitan area. What's great about Sussex? Or at least above average?
Maybe like the people.
Don't say that.
The people are great.
Everyone says that from where they're from.
I know, but
why
I
is the
can't.
person like,
like
don't go to
Sussex
my
is
hometown.
just
Everyone's
like,
horrible.
Oh, I did find out.
There we
Well,
go.
I kind of knew this already, but like I never really understood that we had like the National Guard, the Army National Guard is in Sussex, Wisconsin. I was talking to a girl and she was like, I joined the National Guard and I have to go to Sussex because we were talking to Owen, and he was like, Shout
out Owen Worden, Focus, missionary,
Mm-hmm.
Air Force National Guard.
Yep.
Stud.
Yeah, he's
engaged, back off.
Yeah. But he was also asking me questions about
Sussex.
No. PT.
Oh, physical therapy.
Yeah. Apparently, I have no degree in it, but everybody wants to ask me all the questions.
Yeah, but people respect you pretty quickly, I feel.
That's
Do you feel that way?
I mean, I guess, yeah. That's true.
Now, I'm wondering how you've experienced that. Because you're a very like approachable, affable person. I've never heard you say anything that wasn't obviously a joke that you didn't feel you knew something about, or just said you like. So I'm just saying, do you feel you got that broad? Like in your time at the university, did you feel like you got that broadly from people, or not so much?
I'd say so, yeah. I feel like that's what I've been told by people. I guess I don't really like
You don't like internalize it?
Yeah, no, but
too much?
Yeah. Just kind of do my thing.
And you don't internalize it very much because you don't internalize a lot of these kinds of things. Like, how about your intellectual success? Have you always perceived yourself as a smart person, or is that not really hit home?
Not really hit home.
Can we talk about that a minute? Because this is a common thing.
Yeah.
Because you're all smart as whips. Some harder to notice than others. Shout out Paul. Right? Paul Selberg.
He's so
brilliant.
smart. So smart.
Brilliant. you might not intuit that at first meeting.
Right. Yeah.
But you're very smart. So, but like, what do you think is about internal? Like, you think we want to ward off against pride or arrogance or something like that, or what do you think that's about?
I don't even know. I think it's just, being at this university, like everyone's smart.
Everyone's smart.
Everyone's smart. So it's like the first time that like you get here and you're like, shoot, like everyone is smart. And like at this time, it's not like just you, like from your like small town high school or whatever. Like everyone's got
Big
what it takes.
fish in the Sussex pond, not so much here in UW-Madison, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't like the smartest in my high school either, but like that's like what a lot of people go through. I feel like because everyone's like top of their class if they're getting into Madison, like they got what it takes to get here. But then you get here and it's like you're at the same level as everybody else.
Yeah.
Like
and weirdly that doesn't lift everybody up. It really pulls.
It does. Yeah. Especially like when you're like freshman year and you're doing like curved classes and like only a certain percentage can get like an A and then the rest of you are all.
It's like a great big horrifying sorting hat. Is it not?
Yeah.
No, I perceive this a little bit. So correct me where I'm wrong because I didn't experience it directly as you did, but I feel it's like, they put all these bright people and it's like if Harry Potter's sorting hat lasted a year and was just cold and mean. Is that a bit too dramatic?
No, I think that's perfect.
So where does St. Paul fit into all that? Let's talk a little bit about the role of religion, because you come from a practicing house.
Not so, well, kinda. It was like we would go to church and go to like our Christian formation classes growing up, but we didn't really know. There was no like, why are we doing this? It was just like, we do this because everyone does this, or we did this.
And you had a positive experience of home life?
Yes, yeah. Definitely.
I've heard you tell beautiful stories about your dad. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah, so. I love my mom and dad so much. But yeah, I guess it was just poor catechesis for all of us. Like my dad is actually currently Lutheran, going through OCIA this year, which is super exciting.
Shout out Mr. Bratzke.
Yep, But my mom, she was the one who was Catholic. And so they got married in the Catholic Church. And then I got baptized in that same Catholic church. And then actually Father Eric Nielsen went there it was in Janesville. He went there for a little bit.
You were baptized in Janesville?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I actually forgot the name of it, but.
Synergy. It's coming back around.
Synergy.
Right? We'll get there in a minute.
But yeah, so yeah, we grew up Catholic, but just didn't really know what it was to be Catholic. Like what it is that us Catholics believe. And so it wasn't until I really got here when it was like my sophomore year where I was like in discipleship classes. And I've told you this before, but it was like, there was...
Tell the people.
Yeah, there was this moment where they were explaining what the Eucharist was. And it was the first time that someone actually told me, like, this is the, like, body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ. And I remember, like, sitting there, and I was, like, looking around at everybody else, and I was like, did everybody know this but me?
Right.
Like, I've been Catholic my whole life, and I didn't know this? Like, what did I think it was before? I don't even know.
I did the same thing. For me, it was reading the catechism, but like it was. Did no one tell me? Does everyone? Yeah. Does everyone know this? If I don't know, am I the moron in the room? Like, what's going on? It was a weird moment.
Yeah. And then,
but it seemed like it was a bringing you closer moment,
definitely.
not a like an angry. No one didn't tell me this kind of thing.
It was kind of like a aha moment. Like I felt so like, wow. Like if I didn't know this, then like how much more is there that I don't know?
Right.
You know. And so then it was kind of just like I want to know more, and you just keep going from there. And like every time I learned something new, it was like I just felt closer and closer to Jesus, because like getting closer to a friend, you know, just sharing like the inside like parts of yourself that you don't normally share with everybody else. That's what it kind of felt like. So
that's beautiful. Yeah, the secret part of our soul, that's for God.
Mm-hmm.
But when we share that with God, then it opens up to other people.
Yeah.
Now were also, or are, I don't know what the right term is, in a sorority.
I was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What sorority?
Kappa Alpha Theta.
Kappa Alpha Theta. Tell us about that. What's sorority life like? Again, very pro sorority on Vox Pauli. Love them all.
I joined, it was during COVID, so I didn't get like the same experience as everybody else.
It wasn't like the big
like all
thousands of girls rushing. That was wild.
Yeah, you didn't see that. It was all online. And I also did COB because I was at home.
What's COB?
Continuous open bidding. Yeah. So basically the whole
Yikes.
rush process is like long and it's like gruesome and you're talking to like so many girls back to back to back to back.
I thought girls were going like 4 or 5 a day.
Yeah, yeah. And you're going to all these houses and stuff. And like you have to look nice and like pretend yourself
They do look
nice.
nice,
And, like,
that's true. Yeah,
and you're always just sharing the same thing. It's like, oh, my name's Lauren, kinesiology major. I'm from Sussex. Like yada, yada, yada. But like COB is really cool because like after the rush process ends, then some houses, they still have spots because you have like a certain amount of numbers of girls that you can have in your sorority. Some of those houses still have numbers that they can fill. So they might have like 10 extra spots. So they'll open up continuous open bidding and it's a lot more chill. So it's like you go on coffee dates with girls and like you get to pick which house you want to rush. You don't have to rush all of them. Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that in the spring of my freshman year. And I found all these girls who were just like super cool. Like I felt like I could really connect with them. Wow. And so I joined and it was actually awesome because a lot of them were Christian. And so then they had like Theta Bible study.
So not super well known, right? There's an image of sorority girls from film and maybe experiences. Right. Well, not all the sorority girls are loving Jesus, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, talk about that a little bit because you're right, there's a lot more faith in the sororities than we think.
Yeah. And like I definitely did not really expect to find that. I was just kind of looking for friends because it was like COVID and freshman year and it was so hard to meet people. And so when I found these girls, I was like, how did I get so lucky? Like, this is crazy. And yeah, we'd meet at like upper room, upper house.
Just over here. Yep. Shout out Upper House. We like what they're doing.
Yeah. And so it's super cozy up there. It's really nice. And yeah, there are these, 2 girls, Madeline and Tara. They would lead the Bible study. And,
not to make fun, we wouldn't expect a Madeline and Tara to be in a sorority like those.
I know, right? Yeah.
Names. Yeah. Madeline, Tara, and Lauren are in the sorority.
But they were like, no, you're good. They were just like really cool. And like, I definitely looked up to them a lot. And then like I met some other friends in my grade too that I like really clicked with and then like stayed good friends with over the years. So
and you stayed apostolic with that group. Can you talk a little bit about Chi Rho?
Yeah.
Which you've been involved in. I know is still dear to your heart. Yeah. What is there about this Greek life uniqueness that we need a particular apostolate to them?
We actually just had like a meeting the other day and we were talking about how the view, which we were just talking about too, of Greek life is very poor. Like when I would tell people like, oh, like, yeah, I'm in a sorority, they'd be like, oh, like that. So I'm sorry. Like they didn't really know how to like.
No, it's totally
like,
informed by Greek film life, and Animal House and all this kind of thing. And of course, all you need to do is meet one bad example of a frat guy or sorority girl and away we go.
And so then it also kind of like made, like, we're just thinking about it and we're like, wow, like, why is it that way? Like, and why can't it be different? Especially because all these girls and all these guys, like, what they're looking for is like relationship. They're looking for love.
They're looking for community relationship.
It's in the wrong places.
And they tend to be high achieving people.
Yeah, they are. A lot of them are super smart too. And like they have great futures ahead of them, but it's just like, they're looking for, just like love and all these things in all the wrong places. And so we wanted to provide them with like the truth and like, hopefully they could find like love, like in Jesus Christ and like build a community and like show them that like there's other people who believe in this too and are also searching for this. And so, I started going to it like as like a member junior year.
So it started before you?
Yeah, it started before me. It started my junior year. Mm-hmm. That was Will and Dom and Allie. Yeah. So they worked on that over the summer.
Allie Eichmann?
Allie Eichmann.
Shout out Allie Eichmann.
Shout out Allie Eichmann.
We're very pro Allie Eichmann.
Yes, we love Allie Eichmann. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But so they worked on it over the summer with Father Tim. And then, because he kind of like was heading that as well with them. Yeah,
he had a heart for that too. He was not in the military is kind of fraternity-like or whatever, but he had a real heart for those boys.
Yeah, he did. And so, they started it my junior year, and I was there as a member. And then I went abroad, but I came back.
Where'd you go?
I went to England, Leeds, England.
That seems right.
It was wonderful.
Can we take a brief tour? You want to finish this thought before we go to England?
We can go to England if you want.
Okay, you were in Leeds, England, studying kinesiology?
Yeah, I was. It was awesome. They have kinesiology there. That's why I went there, because they had my major. Like, they had all the classes, so I didn't have to, like... I mean, I also took...
You're like one of 6 people who chose their study abroad on their major.
Yeah, basically.
That's why you didn't go to, like, Barcelona or Paris.
Yeah, but it was so cool. And it was, like, I was actually an exchange student as well, so it was
like... you was in a family?
No, okay, so, like, I lived in, like, a... What do they call it? Like, a flat? But
I think they do call it that.
But it was like I was actually a student at the University of Leeds, And like I wasn't just doing like what other people do.
Not like a parallel program
where it's like
there.
Madison.
Oh, very fun.
Leeds. That was really cool.
What were the students at the University of Leeds like?
They like to party a lot. They like to party a lot. They would
like
do
more than here, you would say?
Like, yeah, like almost more. Cause like you can drink at at 18. So like everybody in.
No one drinks at 18 here, really.
Oh no, never. But like it's like legal to drink over there. And then so they had this bar or pub crawl. They had a pub crawl and it's like 18 pubs. You'd start like super early in the morning and you'd have to drink a pint of beer or cider at each pub before you can move to the next one. And you're also doing it in costume. And this is every Saturday.
I think I'd be great at these kinds of things.
Yeah, it was really fun. But
wait, what costume did you wear?
I was one of the guards, one of the.
Like the Westminster with the big hat.
Yeah, with the big hat, the red coat. Yeah, I thought it was fitting because so that was
the Yankee. Were there other American people there?
Yes. My friend Callie, who I met abroad, she went to Madison. We were like besties. We met there.
Did you fall for any men because they had British accents?
I did not. But I love the accent. I was prepared to.
So then you come back.
Then I came back. And yeah, that was a great time for me though abroad because I had a lot of free time because I wasn't like working, wasn't in like classes and stuff. So I had a lot of prayer time, which was great, much needed. So my relationship with God actually grew tremendously.
Oh, that's spectacular.
Wonderful. Yeah, like I was kind of worried, but it grew a lot. So then I come back in the summer. And Allie and I were living together, actually. And she was...
Here in the city of Madison?
Yes.
Nice.
And she was heading Cairo still, and she invited me to also help lead with that. And so that was really cool, because then Pano, he was the new guy leader.
Shout out Pano, big fan, did a lot for St. Paul's.
Yes, and so we would meet, like, very often, actually, in the summer, just to, like, first get to know each other and, like, figure out how we're going to do this. But then we'd have tons of meetings about what we're, like, foreseeing Cairo to be, and, like, what we want out of it. And so we really wanted to push like small groups and stuff. So that was like our big thing, like figuring out what Bible studies to lead for that and like how to get people into them and like show them that like this is a good community that they should want to be a part of.
Frat sorority people, like a lot of extra duties because of the frat sorority or not necessarily?
Like, are they busy?
Busier than your average student, or that's not necessary. It's not just the case because they're in a frat, or that might be because of responsibilities.
I definitely think they are busier. Like, if you think about it, like you have to maintain like a good GPA for most houses. You have to hit a certain amount of like volunteer hours. So
that's right. That's right.
There's like a lot that goes into it as well. And then like we have like all the rush like recruitment process, that takes a while. And then it's just like there's always stuff going on that you are involved in. And like then there's initiation and all these other events. So it definitely is. So
you have to learn how to manage their schedule better, and then inviting them to another thing.
Right. So it was like, how are we going to make this like actually like interesting? Like, how do we make people actually want to come to this? Because it's so important, but it's like, I felt it where I was like, this is like hard. So we talked a lot about that, and then we led it together senior year.
You and Pano.
And Allie.
Yeah,
and it went great. I thought it went great.
It seemed to go great. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I came here and thought like, well, this is a sweet, silly. Truly, this is kind of a sweet, silly idea. No, it's not. These are really impressive people that we need to get in touch with, and do have kind of a unique life from other students.
Right, and it's also like they do have a big like influence on campus.
It seems they absolutely do. Yeah. Whether that's right or wrong, they do. Whether it's good or bad, they have influence. So it's just like also like seeing if we could get like one person in each house to like come to Cairo, that would just be so beautiful because then they can go back and share it with like all of their sorority brothers and sisters and the kingdom of heaven is like a grain of yeast that leavens the whole dough. That's what we're doing. Awesome. And now we're here to you have an interesting path to the internship.
I do.
Can you talk about that to the people?
Yes. Okay, so I guess
applications go out.
Applications went out. When did they get like released? I know it was due like
I think it was like early November. Yeah,
okay.
I think it was early November.
So leading up to it though. Okay, I'll start with student missionary getaway for me.
Student missionary getaway at the start of
my senior year. Yeah. I'm at this getaway and I'm in adoration and I've been thinking a lot about what I'm going to do next year, like taking a gap year, applying to PT school. What do I want to do with it? I was like, I just come back from abroad. So I was like, I want to go somewhere else. Like, be cool to go to like Colorado, live there, get like a PTA job, whatever. And so like that was on my mind. And then I go into adoration and I'm praying with it. And
in that little sweaty like concession
it was,
bin.
yeah, like meant like my knees hurt from like kneeling.
It's not a beautiful
tight.
English cathedral.
No, yeah. And I'm praying and Jesus and I are talking, and then I like feel him ask me like, if you could have any job in the world, like dream job, what would it be? Like nothing else mattered. And I didn't even hesitate to respond like, oh, missionary like easy. Yep. And then I was like, oh shoot, like
it's kind of like welled up from inside
I was
you.
like, okay, I did not know this. Like I did not know that. I didn't know I had that desire. I didn't know that he gave me that desire. And so I was like, what do I do with this now? And I remember like adoration was done and over, lights were turned out, everyone was at the bonfire, and I'm still in there. And I was like, I really don't know what to do with this.
Wow.
And so after that, I went straight to like Audrey. She's my disciple.
Shout out Audrey Miller, Focus Missionary.
She's
also
the best.
we're very yes.
She's the best.
Yes.
And so I went to her and I told her, and she's like, okay, like focus. Let's do focus. And I was like, yeah, let's do focus.
She's like, awesome. I've been here for like a week and I already got one.
and so I applied to focus. And then like while that was happening though, I also was like seeing all the interns here and like seeing how like their job was, and like I just like was starting to have these deep connections with girls in like Cairo who were like younger than me and going to be around for a while, and like all these other girls outside of that. And I was like, what if I stayed? Like, what if I stayed?
You really did get in touch with a lot of girls last year.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And I was like, what if I got to be here for them for another year? And that was very appealing. And so, yeah, then the internship application came out in November, early November. But like during this time, I was having kind of like this like period of just like, I was listening to what the devil was telling me, that I wasn't good enough to like lead a Bible study anymore, to like lead other girls in discipleship. Definitely not good enough to be like a intern or a focus missionary. And so it's kind of just like, maybe you should just like.
This is near the end of the semester.
Yeah, like end
That's
of
tough.
like November. Yeah. And so I remember I had opened up the application and like saved a copy of it, but I like went to go fill it out and all these thoughts like just came. And I was like, you're so right. Like I'm definitely not like. I was like, and like, you didn't even ask me to apply. Like, it's like, you know.
I didn't.
No,
I
and
didn't.
like, that
No.
was the thought though, because it was like, all my friends who had been interns in the past, I know that like Father Eric Nielsen had like gone up and been like, oh, I want you to apply. Like, you'd be so good at this and whatever. And so I was like, yeah, definitely not wanted. Definitely not wanted.
That makes me feel so sad.
I know. No, it makes me sad. Cause like, why would I think that? Like, yeah. But so then I didn't apply. But then I was going to a sorority event actually, and Janine came with Allie and I, and we're in like the Uber, and she's like, "So Lauren, when's your interview?" And I was like, "I didn't apply." And she's like, "Why? Like, you so should like go talk to Father Eric right now." And at this point, it was like a week after it was due, and I was like, "I can't do that. That's so wrong." And then fast forward another week, I come to mass after work, and I was like so tired. And I had dinner plans with like Audrey and some girls after. And I was like, I'm so tired. I'm going to cancel. Like, I just need to go home and go to bed. But I'm at mass and I just get this like overwhelming feeling that I have to be there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, I really don't want to go. But I was like, I have to be there. I know I have to be there. So I go to Audrey's and we have dinner, and it actually like was the best time ever. And then like the girls we had dinner with had left, but everybody was coming home. So it was like Riley Smith and Juliana and everybody was there, and
interns from a year ago.
Interns, yeah. And everyone starts talking and they're like, we're having this great conversation. And then all of a sudden it's like 8:30 and everyone's like, oh, are you going to Moti? Like there's that party over
Shout
there.
out Mother Teresa House. Again, we love all those girls in the
Yes.
house and we love everything about it.
Yes. And so then I was like, okay, like I guess we're going to the Moti for the Christmas party. So we walk over there and then run into Jade.
Jade Haas.
Jade
one
Haas.
Also, we're
Love Jade.
big Jade Haas
Yes.
fans. Big fans.
Yes. And then it was me, Allie, Jade.
Also intern from a year ago.
Also intern from a year ago. And she's asking Allie about like the internship and about like when her interview is. And then I was like, dang, yeah, I should have applied. And then Jay goes, you can. She's like, talk to Father Eric. And then I was like, I can't. It's been 2 weeks. Definitely not like acceptable. And she's like, no. We're going to talk to Father Eric. And in that exact moment, I walked in the door. You walked in the door.
And could see Jade's eyes just beating, right in time to say hello to anybody. And Jade is like...
Yep, and she just goes directly up to you, brings you over, and then you're like, I hear you have something to ask me. I'm like, can I still apply for the internship? And you said, if you turn in the application by tomorrow. So I said, okay. So then
it was a beautiful night.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly,
really
on the back end of that story, I stayed at that party for maybe 20 minutes. No, truly. No, here's the real story. Again, love the Motif ladies, love all the Carroll Street boys, love everybody. It was a lovely party. Mm-hmm. But I was so excited when I had talked to you.
Really?
Yes. We can talk about this now. Mm-hmm. But I was so excited that I just had a hard time having conversations with people. Because all I wanted to sit down and say, Lauren Bratzke going to apply to be in, which is not be an appropriate conversation piece. So I just left. I went home.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
So it was a very happy night. And here we are.
Many
months later. Mm-hmm. Tell us about OCIA. When do the courses begin?
Yes, October 13th.
What day of the week is that?
Sunday.
Sunday, October 13th. Yes. They take place on Sundays at?
7:15 to 8:15 p.m.
That's right, right upstairs on the 5th floor. Mm-hmm. Your great coworker, Paul Selberg, intern extraordinaire, right? Mm-hmm. Very knowledgeable about the faith.
Yes, so knowledgeable.
Knows so much. All right. Easy to talk to?
If you're a guy.
It's very easy to talk to.
He doesn't talk to girls.
Can you tell us about your first interaction with Paul? So your memorable might have been your bags first, but I think you had just been hired, yes?
Yeah, so we all had just been hired, like end of
all
December.
The interns have been made their offers and accepted.
And then we go on winter break. And there's a group of us who are coming back to Madison to go to Seek. And so we were all at the rectory. This was like December 31st. And so it's like New Year's Eve. And someone had mentioned like, oh, like that's Paul over there. Like, and I had only like, I've never met him. I just saw his name on the paper. Like it's like Lauren, Paul, OCIA interns. I'm like, oh, I got to meet him. Like we're going to be working together. And so like, I go up to him and I'm like, hi, Paul, like I'm Lauren. Like, so nice to meet you. I'm going to be working with you. Like why haven't I seen you around? Like, you know, you'd think that we would have known each other. And all he says is, I don't talk to girls. I was like, okay.
No, there's a reason for that. It wasn't personal. But Paul can talk about that. It's just such a great.
I was like, all right, yeah.
He talks to girls now, not well, but he does.
Right,
yeah.
He does.
So and now you're basically his big sister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
definitely.
Very, very exciting.
It's so much fun.
All right. Well, it's been great to get to talk with you, Lauren. Do you have any parting exhortation for the people or any sort of thing like that? Any OCIA plug? How are you doing with OCIA so far? What kind of interest is there?
It's good. We just got another one before I walked in here, signed up. There's 36 people signed up.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of people who I know are interested.
A lot of interest out there, but yeah, already
it's very exciting. We're always looking for mentors and other people to lead those.
Right. If you're in the Christian walk and you want to walk with someone else, being a mentor, it'd be a great way to get information yourself.
Oh, definitely.
And a great way to meet someone.
That's what I did last year
as well. Really and we need all kinds of people because all kinds of people come in the door for OCIA. So, well, thank you, Lauren. Nice to visit with you. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.